Welcome back to my life with plants. I'm Newman. Today we're going to have a little visit with Vanda Greenlight, and it's hanging up right here. I just came out to have a sniff of these flowers. Little tiny things. You see here how small they are. This can flower at any time of the year. This time it's decided to flower in the autumn. Well, not autumn, I mean late summer. Autumn isn't until late November here. You can see that they've got the great long part of the flower down there. And how does it smell? It's a pleasant fragrance. Very, very sweet citrus. You can imagine these in profusion. Of course, this one has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offsets at the base, and it came with the moss wrapped around the roots there, and I just left it. I didn't pot it up, and I just put this net around it, let the roots dangle. So this is a primary hybrid between Vanda vietnamica and the Japanese Vanda falcata. If these were hanging up together with Vanda falcata, you would probably notice just a little difference in the flower's shape and color, but not a lot of difference. And of course, the way the plant's growing, it's a little more typical of a Vanda of Western Asia, rather than falcata is kind of more compact, and the leaves are more conduplicate. It means that they're really folded up on themselves. This one's more open. Lovely, nice fragrance. I'm going to hang that one back up right here. It's sitting next to Cattleya auricular that's native to Ecuador. It got burning from last year. This year no burning. It's put out a new growth here that's starting to unfurl, and also has another growth there coming away. Will it ever flower or not? I'm not sure. I repotted Cattleya beringiana. It is a new growth coming right up here with a sheath in it. It's going to flower this winter. It's just in time, because that new growth there is going to send out a whole lot of roots pretty soon. The worst of the heat is gone, and it's left this orchid here with, you could say, some dead bulbs from last year or the previous year. I'm probably going to have to change its location. It is a little bit too hot for Dendrobium kingianum. They're going to have to move. It's only the Beringiana here and these other cattleyas, and of course bifrenaria tyrannianthina. This one can handle the heat absolutely fine. In actual fact, I could buy a whole lot of these. They're very, very easy for me to grow. And these are native to parts of Brazil, maybe southeast areas that are very, very rocky, and it grows on rocky outcrops with grasses and other shrubs 500 meters up, growing on big flat boulders that you can actually walk across. They're very flat, and it has a dry tropical season. Temperatures can go down to close to 10 degrees at night and then climb back up to 20 or just over during the day, and then the summers are hot and the rains come. This one's pretty easy for me. It just has to flower, that's all. It's going to need a repot soon. This cattleya did fine. And so did these ones. This one just keeps pushing up more and more growth. You can see down here the two new growths that are coming away on this Laelia cattleya Dinard Blue Heaven. And finally I can say that it's going to flower. It's got the sheath here and I can see a shadow in there. And this one's latest is right here. And this Rhyncholaleo cattleya Young Kong. That's the label there. You see those roots creeping out along and going in. And being a cattleya, I didn't water it that much this summer. So there's a growing tip for you if you're having trouble with your cattleyas rotting, even when it gets really, really hot. I make sure that the thing is like absolutely dry, very dry, before I water it. And if every other time when we have tropical hot weather, it's up into the 100 Fahrenheit, 110 Fahrenheit, and it's very, very humid, 80-90%. I would just spray the surface around the orchid there and just leave it alone. Here's your growing tip to have a great, healthy, big orchid like this. They just don't require that much water, actually, to be able to grow massive bulbs like this one's growing. Look at the size of these leaves. This thing has only received rainwater. It's kind of just sheltered here, but it's only received rainwater 3 or 4 times this summer at the most. Water's gone into the pot from the rain, otherwise it's been on the dry side. So I'm hoping that this one will have a growing spirit. And continue growing this new growth there. It's slowly, little by little, going onto this mount. You can see that root. I'm not sure what flowers it'll have. This kingianum here, you can see that it had a fungus attack last year. The fungus has died. That's the remnants, which still affect the older growth. It's kind of all died and rotting off. but all the way around it, it has all of the new growth. You can see it. So this winter they'll stay up here, and I'll wrap them with burlap. Before I wrap them, I will use these frames here. You can see one here that's actually too big. It's for sitting pots in, so that they're not sitting on the ground, and the reason for that is ants are not able to get up into the pot, or slater bugs and slugs. Keeps them elevated, but there are different sizes of those. So you just sit the orchid up on it, or just have it sitting straight on the ground like that, and that makes a nice framework for you to wrap your burlap around, so that it's not all pushing over the leaves and stuff. This one will make it come back. It gets really shriveled at the end of summer. It's a dendrobium speciosum hybrid, and we have this mount up here, which is doing absolutely fine. It kind of stopped its growth, you could say. Its growth kind of came halfway there, and it decided to have a break in the summer, but it'll continue growing these, and they will mount onto there. One is already grabbed on there already. There's quite a nice flower actually. Maybe I could catch a glimpse right there. Cattleya Fairyland Poco. And there's this one that I'm pretty sure it's got Walkeriana in it. It's made a great effort to grow this new leaf and bulb, and it's just growing in plain old chunks of pumice in a basket. But we're going to have a closer inspection of that coming up pretty soon. Yeah, but for now I don't want to pull all these plants out. And of course this hippie cattleya, or it could be hippodendron mixed with another species. It's Renee Marks, Renee something or other. And it's put out this new growth that it typically does. And down there you can actually see that it's trying to push out another one, so that this plant is becoming more able to grow. And it's stayed in the pot. Doesn't seem to mind staying in a pot, this one. So it must be, it must have a lot of its epidendrum in its lineage here, that, you know, a lot of epidendrums tend to grow on rocks and right at the base of trees, where they have some contact with soil. And this one puts up with the heat easily. I don't need to move this anywhere. I can keep it here every summer without any effort or worry. Yeah, but definitely these Kingianum types have had their limits pushed. They're not supposed to die off their older growth like that. It's not normal for them. They're supposed to hold on to it for many more years. So that is going to have an effect on its flowering, unfortunately. Unless some of these older bulbs here can hang in there, it might be fine. It might still flower. We'll see what happens. And I have this other cattleya here. It has two nice growths. I've got one there and one here. And it's growing in sphagnum moss, and you can see lovely roots. And I don't water it that often at all. I keep it on the dry side. Anything that's on a mount like this, I can water it every other day. But potted cattleyas, don't water them every day. That's all I can say. Skip a few days in between. Let them dry right out, especially in the tropics, tropical areas. Talking to people that live in Florida there. Yeah, they're going to get the rots. So even if they're dried out and you're going to get another hot day, but the overall humidity is very, very high, you want to leave it alone. Yeah, I think some of the best days to give them water, plenty of a good flush out of water in there, are the days where you have a drop in temperature between night and day of about 8 degrees, 8 or 9 degrees difference. They tend to like their water then. And a pleasant surprise, if I can just get around this Renee Marks here. I just spotted something. Maybe this side. You can see right there. My finger is a new pseudobulb is starting to develop off this one. It's maturing. Starting to mature, this one. I think one of its biggest ones is this. And here we have it's battle wounds from the summer. You can't have a cattleya without having some of those from the heat, and they seem to get it naturally in the natural habitat. So I'm going to put some links up on the screen here, and the reason why I watch these particular YouTubers is they live in the country where a lot of these orchids are native to, and that's Brazil. And they go out and they record many different habitats where these orchids grow, and I want to put the links on the screen and recommend that you watch them. And the latest ones have been dubbed by AI so that you get it in English. Some of the older videos you just have to watch the subtitles in English, but there's nothing like seeing these plants in habitat. It really explains a lot. And sometimes there's a lack of description or detail about the weather or the conditions, but I'm sure if you ask questions you'll get answers for them. I think typically because they live there, and a lot of their viewers already know what the conditions are like. But temperature and humidity is everything. But you can often tell by their body language whether it's really humid. They'll complain, or they'll be sweating. If they look comfortable in that, you know it's a little cooler. So I just want you to watch these links here. And it'll really help you out with your plants a lot. It is with me, because there's just certain things that happen to your plants, like you know, burning leaf tips and shriveled. Why is it shriveled? And do orchids die back their older growth? And all of those things will be answered, because seeing is believing, and especially if they're lithophytic. There's another name that means plants that grow in amongst rocks but not on them. There's so much as like a moss. There's another term for it, I just can't remember right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But you'll be surprised how many bulbs of these bifrenaria die off as they keep growing. They don't hold on to their older bulbs for very long at all. Alright, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And we'll do updates on these, well, for me, this Cattleya Denard Blue Heaven will be a first time bloomer for me. And until next time, we'll see you. Bye bye.